disease, broken by despair, broken by trauma, broken by racism, broken by neglect. And then I realized that I work in a broken system because the people with power are too often unwilling to get proximate. They're locked into those narratives of fear and anger. They've lost their hope. They won't do uncomfortable things. And in that moment, I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And I sat down in agony. And something told me, you better think about why you do what you do. And that night, I started thinking about, why do I do what I do? And in the midst of that agony, I had this realization. That's the night I realized why I do what I do. And what I realized shocked me. Because what I realized is that I don't do what I do because somebody has to do it. I don't do what I do because I've been trained as a lawyer. I don't do what I do because if I don't do it, no one will. I don't even do what I do just because it's about human rights and justice. What I realized that night that I'd never realized before is that I do what I do because I'm broken too. And the truth is that when you're proximate to suffering and inequality, when you are forced to work on narratives, when you have to stay hopeful, when you do uncomfortable things, there will be moments where you are overwhelmed, where you are challenged, where you feel a little broken. But it's also the night that I realized I'm not just trying to save my broken clients, I'm also trying to save my broken self. I actually believe it's in brokenness that we begin to appreciate the power of redemption. It's in brokenness that we can understand what mercy can do. It's in brokenness that we begin to appreciate how justice is critical to the health of a community. It's the broken among us that can teach us what it's truly like to be human. I believe really simple things. I believe that each of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done. I believe if somebody tells a lie, they're not just a liar. I think if somebody takes something, they're not just a thief. I think even if you kill somebody, you're not just a killer. And justice requires that we understand the other things you are. I am persuaded that the opposite of poverty isn't wealth. I really do believe that. I believe that the opposite of poverty is justice. And when we do justice, we deconstruct the conditions that give rise to poverty. We work on that structural violence. We pay attention to the suffering and the disparities that affect people of color and poor people. It is in that mode of justice service that we actually create healthier communities. And finally, I believe that as people who care about human rights, as people who care about basic human dignity, we cannot look at the health and the well-being of the privileged and the powerful. We've got to look at the poor, the suffering, the excluded, those in war-torn areas, those who are not having the kinds of life expectancies that they should have in a nation like ours. I'll end with this. I think there's just a different metric system